Good morning, everyone. This is Mark. I'm here to show you my problem and hopefully be able to fix it. So, in the past week, we ran out of electricity and we also went to sub-zero. It's pretty cold right now. It's 17 degrees, and my water heater broke. Most likely, the problem is where the corner of the tubing of the copper. That's where the pipe burst, and we're gonna find a problem, remove the pipe burst, and fix it. I will go and disassemble the piece, bring it into the garage so it's easier to fix. Because we kind of have to dismantle the whole thing to take the heat exchanger out and fix the problem. I want to put out a disclaimer here. I am not a certified plumber or electrician, so if you attempt to fix your water heater, you have to do this at your own risk. So be careful out there. While I was dismantling the unit, I forgot to disconnect the electrical wires. So this is what I'm doing at this moment, and when it's done, I'll bring the unit into the warm place. And there it is, a broken pipe on the heat exchanger. We will attempt to fix this problem. In order to unattach the heat exchanger, we need to disconnect the 3 tubing that are attached on the base of the unit, and for those there's 2 screws and 1 clip. The heat exchanger is also attached in the middle by 2 screws and 2 screws at the top that you see now, and from there you remove the 2 screws for the gas connection for the heat thing, and let's see, what is it? So, technical problem, there you go. Now into cutting the pipe that is broken. I'm trying to use a jigsaw here, but the movement from the blade is way too long, so it was very difficult to get a good grip and cut the pipe cleanly. So I was trying to cut the pipe at least about ½ an inch away from the wall that you see here. So as well there's a spring that was in the way here that I'm pushing it down because it was getting in the saw blade, and this was causing me a lot of trouble. So the final solution, the best way I ended up cutting the pipe was I used a Dremel with a cutting blade. Using it that way was so much easier and so much cleaner, and that saved me a lot of time. I spent probably an hour doing it that way. So at this point I'm done with cutting the pipe, and I'm just cleaning it up with the saw blade. It was a little messy, so I cut off the excess to have a nice clean area to put. And finally, the last piece I did was to polish everything and to have a clean area and no sharp edges. So I have these elbow here, and it looks like they kind of fit very tightly. So the way I have it is I have a regular elbow and I have an elbow with a smaller incision, so they fit into each other like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld them so they get into here like this to complete and fix the problem. I speed up this section because this took me a long time. The hole on the left side was a tiny bit bigger, and the elbow that I had fitted in it fairly quickly. The one on the right side took me probably, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of work to make it fit. So I use a mix between sandpaper and the grinder on the Dremel. And arm yourself with patience, grind them slowly, and make sure it fit. Don't force to get in too hard because you can break the pipe. As you can see, when I pulled the spring from the unit, it was still it was still frozen. So anyway, so take your time if you do this. Make sure you fit in it properly. When it fit, make sure you clean everything, put the flux, and put the piece back together and get it ready for soldering. And that's pretty much in. Looks good. After soldering is done, we need to remove all the solder pieces that are floating up here so it doesn't end up short-circuiting anything in the box, and to make everything look cleaner as well. Other side is not cracked either, so let's see. I don't see any crack. Which is good. So now it's a matter of put it back together. Now that we fix the problem, it's time to reassemble it. This last part of reassembling the unit is just reversing the disassembly. So we disconnected the 3 pipes, the 2 screws in the middle of the back of the unit of the heat exchanger, and the 2 screws at the top. So we just got back, you put back the unit into place, screw the top, put the tubing back into its position with the locking mechanism that it comes with, and also attach the 2 screws for the gas going back into the exchanger. And I struggled with the 2 screws in the back. I'm using a long screwdriver here. It's a flat one. I should have had a Phillips one, but I was able to get them back into place. I'm using a wrench here to push it back in because I don't know, it was just aligning, it was not aligning the hole perfectly with the screws, so I was able to push it back and screw it back in that way. This took me, I don't know, 10-15 minutes to reassemble everything, and the last step will be to bring the unit outside and putting it back to its original position on my external wall of my building so we can have hot water again. Okay, I have the unit here. I'm going to install it. Electricity is off, the gas is off, everything is off. I have this seal up here, make sure I don't lose them. That's pretty important. To be honest, to take the unit out and putting it back, it would have been better if I had another person to help me out, but I was able to do it. The unit are not that heavy, maybe 20-30 pounds, and on here I attached it securely to the wall and reconnect the gas, the water line, and the electrical wires. On the electrical side, there's the 120, and there's also the control unit connectors that you need to put back together. So you need to do all those steps to get the unit back into a functioning position. So, disclaimer, make sure the electricity is off, the gas is off, and the water is off, so you can do everything safely. Okay, double check everything. And connect this is good. I don't think I disconnected anything, so turn it on. So it is on. The water is on. Gas is on. Gas is on. Make sure there's no leak. So, as you can see, I have the hot water leaking, and it is working. You can see the vapor going through, and I don't see any sign of leakage, so we're good. So another successful saving. I saved myself about